I'm Joseph.
And I'm Nick.
This is Fish Jelly.
Yes, you bet it is.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay.
It's been a busy week.
Mm-hmm. Did you see Shia LaBeouf talking about the movie Holes?
I think he's mentioned that was kind of an arduous film. I mean, it was his debut and his dad was not acting right on set.
Yeah, he said his dad, who was known for being difficult, didn't get along with Jon Voight.
Well,
primarily because Jon Voight was being difficult on set and made the kids feel uncomfortable.
Not surprised.
So he said it sucked, but the part of the story that was interesting is Shia LaBeouf said that his dad spent the entire filming on set hitting on Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, I have heard that before.
Ooh, no.
I wonder how she handled that, because she doesn't talk about that.
I'm sure she is mindful that, especially at the time, that man had a child on set. So I'm sure she was trying to be sensitive and continues to want to be sensitive to the child on set. But
yes, and she was also a villain, so it's not like they had a lot of really mushy scenes together, Shia and Sigourney. But yes, how odd and uncomfortable.
Oh, and his dad's not even cute. Okay.
You never saw Honey Boy?
No.
Which is kind of an exaggerated rendering of his youth.
Anyway, moving on to the restaurant section. We tried a new Korean barbecue place called Castle Barbecue.
Yes.
This was the first time we've done all you can eat.
There's a reason for that.
There were 3 different menus. I think the least expensive option was like $29 a person.
Mm-hmm.
The middle option, I think, was like $34 a person. And the most expensive option was $40. We chose the middle option.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the food?
The food was good. I was happy with it. It was too much. It was too much food.
Well, it's too much meat for sure.
Oh my God. And then...
But that's not the restaurant's fault. I'm
no,
just saying,
I mean,
eating all you can eat is too much, because I felt like...
we walked by that so many
animal.
times and it's always busy. So I'm glad we tried it. And I do like Korean barbecue a lot. But being that I've never been at an all-you-can-eat one, they kept taking, because you're continuously cooking the meat in front of you, and they kept taking the apparatus that we're cooking the meat off and replacing it with a clean one. And you could see down in the well of animal oils, and that shit looked like the La Brea tar pits. And when I started seeing that, I was done eating.
This was the first time I ate at a Korean barbecue place where we had to be in charge of the meat cooking. It's also the first time I've seen them remove the top where you could see underneath.
Yes.
I've seen them remove it because it's like, oh, we're going from... Actually, I don't think I'd never had them replace it midway.
No.
But yes, seeing the sludge underneath was really unappetizing.
Oh, it's giving me shivers right now. Oh, no.
Would I go there again? Yes. I thought it was good. I didn't like all of the meats. There was a spicy chicken and...
Oh, see, I kind of like the spicy chicken, but that was, making my bald head sweat.
I didn't mind the spice level, but the quality of the chicken.
Oh, sure.
That felt like I don't know. I don't know what part of the chicken we were eating, but that's not the part I would usually go for.
Mm-hmm. You're not a thigh man.
My favorite cut of meat was, I think they called it like boneless rib cubes or something.
Mm-hmm.
That meat was very tender, not very fatty. You can't go wrong with bulgogi beef, so that was good.
Yep.
Of course, I like corn cheese.
Yeah, you got a little bit of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm very simple. Just give me some nice meat on top of white rice and some sort of like chili oil, and I'm good.
Yes,
but definitely over 8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably once a quarter type situation.
Once a quarter.
Maybe biannually. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a lot for me. The last time I felt like I ate that it was like Fogo de Chao, which we ate years and years ago.
We also tried a new sushi restaurant in Larchmont called Kiku Sushi.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Larchmont is really cute. This restaurant's sort of at the beginning of the host role.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was super cute.
Yes.
What did you order?
Eel.
Yo, dumbass. I'm so tired of this. But well,
the picture, it looked
I'm
like...
not interested in managing adults for free, but I think what we need to start doing is when you start ordering this random shit, it is fully acceptable to ask how it's prepared.
I've had
and we need to
eel
start doing that.
but
Yeah, but how many times, like that damn duck you ordered with your sister?
I know that was a
I
travesty.
mean, there are so many examples of you trying to be adventurous and then you order some bullshit that even like
I like to try
even
new
the server
things.
looks at you like, okay, here you go.
I like to try new things. It's okay.
Yeah, but you don't like it, so you need to just ask, how is it prepared? Because I bet what you wanted, they probably had a version, because basically they brought out a big bowl of rice with, it looked like steamed eel on top. The texture was not to my liking.
The texture was difficult. Thankfully, there was an abundance of rice, and so I was able to choke it down with large spoonfuls of that. The sauce was great, but the texture threw me. And then all I could think of was the tin drum and the eels. And
oh, you know what I learned about eels recently is their body cavity is extremely truncated.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you see a 6-foot eel, 5 feet 8 inches of it is tail, and the little first, 5 or 4 inches is the body cavity.
Mm-hmm. The body.
Meaning that their mouth and their butthole are very close together, which I think is kind of crazy.
I mean, they're creepy creatures, but I made it through. Mm-hmm.
You also ordered some sushi.
I ordered a scallop roll.
Did you like it?
That was to my liking, yes.
Well, to no surprise, I tend to stick with things I know. So I ordered the chicken katsu, which I also order whenever we go to Chubby Curry in Beverly Hills. And it tasted almost exactly the same.
Yes, it did.
Which I thought was very good. I would definitely go back and get that again. Mm-hmm. I think what you were hoping for was that the eel was maybe fried.
Crispy. I wanted crispy.
Mm-hmm. I bet they do have that. So
I don't know. We're never going to know. And then on the, because there was some skin of the eel on there, and I could, there's like the tiniest of kind of little hairs. Oh,
ooh, no. Well, I thought it was a cute space. That would actually be a cute place to go and just eat by yourself, because you can sit out on the sidewalk, but it's not like awkward like some.
No.
Because I always think whenever I see Figaro Bistro and Los Feliz, how all those people are on the sidewalk, that looks so uncomfortable to me.
Mm-hmm. But they all like to drink out there, so.
But Largemont Vibe is a lot more chill, and there isn't as much foot traffic. Also, the sidewalk's much wider. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I did like that one. Moving on to films released we didn't cover. Solo Mio.
I don't know anything about it except that Kevin James plays a man that I think goes alone on his honeymoon.
The Strangers, Chapter 3.
We almost saw this, but you and I have not seen The Strangers Chapter 1 or 2, and another film screening came up that we saw instead, which is fine. This is the final, I think, prequel trilogy directed by Rennie Harlin, and I don't think it's been well received. One day I'll catch up with those.
Calle Malaga.
This I do want to see. I really do like Carmen Mora, and I heard that this is a really good role for her, from a Moroccan filmmaker named Mariam Touzani. So it's set in Tangier, but that is something I plan on catching up with.
Jimpa.
This is also something I plan on catching up with. I cannot believe Kino Lorber did not send me a screener, even though they sent an email asking if I wanted one and then never responded. But Olivia Colman and John Lithgow, this was a Sundance film from 2025 about a trans teen. I made you watch the trailer. I still do want to see this.
Kokuho.
This is a documentary about kabuki actors, I believe, and they do interest me.
My Father's Shadow.
Oh, I passed this up at so many opportunities, but it's a Nigerian film from Akinola Davies Jr. that sounds pretty good. It's a period piece set in the early 90s.
The President's Cake.
This also, I think this is Iraq's first submission for Best International Feature, and was at Cannes, and I still have yet to see it.
Lastly, Twisted.
This is a Saw-ish type movie starring Jaimin Hansu and Alicia Witt. You might remember her as Sybil Shepherd's daughter in the series Sybil, and I like both of them well enough. I would see it. I would watch that.
This past week on Patreon, we reviewed the film Lucky Number 11, starring a ripe Josh Hartnett, so people can give us money to listen to that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, there are a couple of entries in the obituary section. Gerardo Taracena died. He's best known for the Netflix series Narcos Mexico. He was only 55 years old.
Damn. He's also an Apocalypto. which is, despite I don't really care for Mel Gibson anymore, but that is an excellent film, actually.
And Christa Lang Fuller, a German-American actress and screenwriter.
Yes, she was married to Samuel Fuller, who is, I think, one of just an amazing and outspoken American filmmaker. He directed a film everybody should see called White Dog, but you and I believe, have a podcast review for The Naked Kiss, which is, I think, maybe my favorite Sam Fuller. But Christa Lang Fuller she worked with so many auteurs, including Jean-Luc Godard with Alphaville. I believe we have a podcast out there for that. That's one of my favorite Godard films, the week he died. And then an excellent Claire Denis film about cockfighting called No Fear, No Die.
She was 82 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The secret film this week was my choice, and I chose the 2026 Amazon original Relationship Goals, directed by Linda Mendoza. It stars Kelly Rowland and Cliff Method Man Smith. What is this film about? It explores the ups and downs of modern romance. Sure.
Okay.
Since this film is brand new, we have pull quotes. What is yours?
The respective discographies of both Kelly Rowland and Method Man offer better dating tips than the miserable and basic propaganda offered up in Relationship Goals. You don't need a ring to be a wife, and whatever Pastor Michael Todd thinks he knows, these empty words and false gestures make him seem more like a bugaboo.
Mine. Even setting aside the religious propaganda, Relationship Goals is a corny, awkward rom-com with clunky dialogue, stiff performances, and a troubling view of women's worth, though the soundtrack is lovely.
They shelled out for some of these songs. But yeah, I didn't like a goddamn minute of it. I think it's just miserable. And there's a lot of people I actually really like in this. And God, how old are these people?
Wow, that's one of my notes. I don't even know where to begin. It's interesting the IMDb premise is so vague, because I read the IMDb premise before starting the film and thought it was curious how vague it is. But after watching the film, it makes sense. It just feels like they've slapped together several storylines that are very basic.
Oh, it's so incredibly basic. And it's just, next month, no one will even remember this another forgettable streaming film. And this stars Method Man and Kelly Rowland. I mean, shouldn't there be some excitement and buzz about this? It blows my mind.
Okay. Ugh. Like, even trying to talk about this, I hated this movie.
I did too.
The only reason it's not going to get the lowest score is because of the soundtrack.
Wow, that's what's saving it? Okay.
Kelly Rowland plays a producer on a morning talk show.
Yeah, it was giving Rachel McAdams in Morning Glory.
So the lead anchor is portrayed by Robin Thede,
who I love. Please, can somebody give her work that's worthy of her?
There's also a makeup artist portrayed by Annie Gonzalez named Treese. So Kelly Rowland's Leah, Robin Thede is Brenda, and Annie Gonzalez is Treese.
And together they're the witches of Bushwick.
They appear to be the best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Rowland seems to be the leader,
which she never got to experience with Destiny's Child.
They seem very preoccupied with romance, but the main thing pushing the plot forward in the beginning is Kelly Rowland is up for showrunner because her boss, portrayed by Matt Walsh, is leaving.
Uh-huh.
So she understands she's a shoo-in, and when she goes to see her boss,
he's like, nah.
Yeah. He tells her, well, actually, Method Man's coming in.
Jarrett Roy.
To interview for the job.
That sounds like an Arnold Schwarzenegger character. Jarrett Roy.
Okay, the first thing that threw me off is we're told that Method Man is going to interview for showrunner.
Uh-huh.
But then when he shows up, he has an office, like he's working there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of someone being considered for a position and they basically put them to work.
Well, it's like, okay, hi, here's your office. You're on standby.
This is so poorly written.
Uh-huh.
These people do not seem like adults. But getting back to your earlier comment, one of my notes is how old are these people supposed to be? Because Robin Thede and Kelly Rowland are well into their 40s.
Mm-hmm.
But Annie Gonzalez is in her early 30s. So they seem very different in age.
Well, and to be fair, those two have more prominent professional positions than Ms. Gonzalez's character.
Sure, yes, that makes sense. But why I think they feel mismatched, or why I question their age, is because they're acting like women who are half their age. Particularly Kelly Rowland and Robin Thede.
I cannot believe the things coming out of these women's mouths, the dumb shit that they would have said when they were 20, until you realize, like, why was I saying dumb shit like that?
And to be clear, I think Kelly Rowland looks amazing. She couldn't be more beautiful, but she's a mature woman.
I think they both look amazing. They give Robin Thede a couple dresses that she looks quite voluptuous in.
But a side story for Kelly Rowland's character is that she's grieving the loss of her mother, who died in 2021. I'm assuming this story is taking place in 2025. So her mother's been dead for some years. Her dad is portrayed by
the great Dennis Haysbert. I am so happy to see him get work, but between this and his walk-on role in Sam Raimi's Send Help, again,
they give him nothing to do.
Could you please give Dennis Haysbert something to do? Isn't he the daddy in For Love and Basketball?
But Kelly Rowland, she can't get over the fact that her mother has died. And at one point, this lady says, "We loved her with our whole hearts, and she got cancer and died." Is this woman 12 years old? The way she talks about everything is like she's a child.
And Dennis Haysbert is like, well, that's part of life, is losing people.
I want to take a detour for a second because the director of Moses the Black, Yelena Popovich, a film we reviewed, that will certainly be in my worst of list.
Same.
She was on The Breakfast Club with, I believe it was the ex-gang member who
coached her
in writing about Black gang members in Chicago.
You mean
in modern day Chicago?
The unpaid ghostwriter? Also,
not to say that this man doesn't have his ear to the streets, but also
like
the director seems so detached from the material.
Is he like Jeffrey Wright in Highest to Lowest? What are the streets saying?
I feel like it would be like asking me about Vegas now. Like, what do I know? It's been 20 plus years. Like, I'm out the game. I don't know what people do. Sometimes people will ask me like, oh, where's a good place to, I don't know. I have not been there in a very long time in that capacity. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Yelena Popovich, the ex-gang member, and Omar Epps were on The Breakfast Club, basically saying they think there's a Hollywood conspiracy because the movie was yanked out of theaters. And it's like, well, it was yanked out of theaters because there was no interest. And these theater owners need to make money. So if a film is not selling tickets, they will replace it.
Yelena girl, the call's coming from inside the house. It's not good.
Also, the real gag is trying to act like this movie isn't terrible. But the reason I brought that film up is because
I guess God doesn't control the box office.
Well, and also she had said that people have a bias against faith-based films because they're considered bad and cheesy. And in selecting relationship goals, which another detour, why did I select this film? It was kind of a pinch. Like, this is a busy week. I needed to select something. I had originally selected Toni Braxton's Lifetime movie, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me.
I bet that's better.
And now I'm upset because I didn't choose that one.
Hey, there's all the time in the world. If we're still alive 2 weeks from now, then you can choose that one.
Ugh. I mean, I don't need to be, but anyway, especially after watching this movie.
Yeah, I could be done watching shit like this. Jeez.
You know what? I want to, you know how I want to die? I want a filmmaker who I said I didn't like their film to come kill me, because I really want to be a Dateline episode.
Could you just do that instead of torturing me with this nonsense?
But as you were preparing to buy the Toni Braxton film, I don't know what inspired me. I had seen comments about you should review relationship goals. And to those people who said that, I feel like it was a setup. They knew this movie was some bullshit when they said we should talk about it.
You knew you were going to test my blood pressure today.
But this is a faith-based movie.
Oh, but this is like that Maria Bamford bit where it's like, stop hiding behind your Jimi Hendrix font. Like it's not readily apparent that it is. And we didn't even, because we need to drag this young man. It's based on a book by Pastor Michael Todd, this 39-year-old who wanted to be like, sir, what the F do you know? Shut the hell up. That's all I wanted to say to him.
So Pastor Michael Todd is very popular on social media. He wrote a book called Relationship Goals, How to Win at Dating, Marriage, and Sex. He's actually featured in the film as himself talking about,
oh my God, excerpts from his book. There's
dating, marriage, and sex. And he's with who I'm assuming is his wife, who
talking in
if
platitudes.
Tiffany the doll were a Stepford wife, that's how she looked to me. But he was unconvincing in the movie talking about the book he wrote.
Yes, no, sir. Because, you know, to this pastor and Yelena Popovich and all the other ones, you aren't being realistic about the human experience. It's not that faith is or spirituality are wrong, or that we're trying to shit all over that. It's just that you can't acknowledge that part of the human experience is human behavior and needs and desires and the ratchet shit that we sometimes get up to.
Well, that's another detour that I forgot to get back to. Yes. So, like we mentioned in the Moses the Black review, I agree. These faith-based films are often bad and cheesy because they don't deal with adult situations in a realistic way.
They all act like they've discovered sobriety, spiritual sobriety, and they can't possibly dip their toes into anything resembling past behaviors, which could trigger them, and they relapse into sexuality.
The way these women are acting, oh my God, there's so much about this I hate, because this very much feels like, and the rhetoric with which Pastor Michael Todd is using in this film, and forgive me if this is not what he's really saying, because this film is so poorly written that this is what washed over me.
God, it made me want to go back and watch something adapted from TD Jakes.
And that's honestly, I feel like Tyler Perry could have done a better job, because at least it'd be funny.
This
film had a couple of moments I found amusing. One of them was this old white lady working as a server in a restaurant, but we'll get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
But the point I was trying to make is I find it so curious that I just want to know what people think these people's qualifications are. Like, so anybody can just get up there and say, like, I used to be a scallywag and I used to... I don't know. How are people vetting the people who they take advice from? Because the way it's written in this book is these women, first of all, I'm so all over the place like this movie. These women are acting like they're 13-year-old girl. It's like the virgin suicides up in here. Like they took some vow of chastity and then they're like little schoolgirls talking about dating.
I mean, somehow it made the Think Like a Man film seem mature and reasonable.
I don't know if people also felt this way, but it feels like this pastor is saying that a woman's worth is defined by her relationship with a man.
And then their relationship has to have God at the center, which please explain to me what exactly that means.
We get brief moments where adult things come up and they just get swept under the rug so easily. Like, there are real issues that need to be worked through. Let's talk about Robin Thede's character.
Oh, Robin Thede.
Brenda.
She is such a funny person, and there's none of that on display here.
She feels like, I know her, my strongest memory of her is from
the Black Lady Sketch Show.
So to see her in this film, it's almost like she had a shock collar on.
Yeah.
And every time she was going to be adult and funny, they shocked her ass.
Yep. Like, nope, none of that here.
But her character is the lead anchor of this morning show, which the vibe of this show is so confusing to me because they're acting. I need someone who works in television, particularly. What's that show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon on Apple TV?
The Morning Show?
Right.
I've never watched that.
I haven't either, but I would imagine that feels more realistic to what that high-paced, prime time environment is like.
Mm-hmm.
This shit feels so rinky-dink, but then they're acting like they're going to make $1 million a year working this job. But anyway, she is in a relationship with a famous athlete.
Mm-hmm. Aiden, played by Devon Nixon.
And her issue is that she's forever the girlfriend, not the wife. And one day she, after interviewing Pastor Michael Todd and his wife and reading his book, she decides to set boundaries and tell her boyfriend.
Did you recognize Devon?
No.
If I said the name Fletcher, would you recognize Devon Nixon?
Not from The Bodyguard.
Yes, sir.
He was Rachel Marin's son in The Bodyguard?
Yes, sir. He's in a bunch of stuff as a kid. Terminator 2, an excellent Charles Burnett film.
That's Fletcher?
Yeah, that's Fletcher. Oh.
Okay, I thought he looked kind of elderly to be.
Damn.
Well, he keeps talking like these people are acting like they are in their prime. They're my age. That's too damn old to be acting like this.
Well, he's
okay?
retiring from his
well, no,
professional career.
But he's saying he doesn't want to retire. And I don't know, that man looked like he needed to sit down and enjoy his riches and take a nice like network job corresponding and marry this lady who likes him. Yes. But anyway, she sets boundaries.
But not in a realistic way, because her thing, the chapter that speaks to her from the pastor's good book is, basically those of you who are, you ain't shit and get off the pot, and they've been together for years, and Devon Nixon hasn't proposed to her. But it's like this adult woman who has this professional job speaking in front of millions on television, she can't say to him like, look, I know I said I wanted to wait, but it's been 4 years and I want to get married. What you think about that?
This makes these women who, specifically Kelly Rowland and Robin Thede, they are in professional positions.
Mm-hmm. But no, she's like,
they make them seem like they have no ability to advocate for themselves, communicate articulately.
They're playing weird games. Robin Thede's like, okay, I'm gonna wrap my genitals up and go to my girlfriend until you decide what you want to do. It's like, what?
We'll get to the resolution of their relationship. Next, we have Annie Gonzalez as Treese, who's significantly younger than her two besties. She's the makeup artist on this morning show. Mm-hmm. And her issue is, they make her seem like a ran-through doll.
Yes, Luscious Massacre, she is.
She's self-conscious about it to the point where she has Kelly Rowland's gay assistant, Ronald, who people should know from Pose, the Ryan Murphy series.
Yes.
From the House of Extravaganza? No.
Is it the House of Abundance?
House of Abundance? No. What was MJ's house?
Oh, it's MJ's house, not...
yeah, he was part of MJ's
Dominique's house.
Hold on, I'm about to find it. What were you going to say about Ronald?
Ryan Jamal Swain is the actor's name.
He was a part of the House of Evangelista.
Okay.
Yes, that was MJ's
house. So we need to get into this because this is like gay magical Negro. This is like Uncle Tom's to gay men.
Uncle Tom's Stonewall.
This is Uncle Tom Stonewall Jackson, this fucking character. Hollywood Montrose. Like he's this magical fairy to help, I guess, Kelly Rowland. Does anybody care what God thinks about his relationship issues or whatever the hell he's doing? No.
I'm sure these people thought the fact they're including this character means that they're inclusive. And so then I would say, okay, well, that's great. But also this movie is about how meaningful relationships are important and important to self-respect. I feel like that's what they're trying to say.
They have the audacity.
So then, yeah, why doesn't he... he's just a gossipy little homosexual.
They have the audacity to use him as a beard for Treese to her sister, who clocks him right away. Yeah, we get a
scene when Treese goes to see her family, and because she's so self-conscious and blind and stupid, she brings Ronald as her boyfriend. And it's like...
And looks like a whole ass clown. Looks like the other Ronald. But her sister clocks him immediately. Like he's so... The homosexuality is seeping out of his pores.
I hated that character. Not Ronald. Well, I wish Ronald were a little different.
Yes.
I think Ronald would have worked if the story weren't about what it's about. Treese.
He's like Rupert Everett in My Best Friend's Wedding. Anyway.
Treese just seems so dumb.
She is. There is something that happens to her that is... Like if it happened to me, which it never would, is devastating. She's ghosted during the middle of a date, but
because she's dumb and annoying.
And she's saying that may make
okay. Let me take it back. She's not like grating dumb.
No, she's trying too hard.
She seems like just this simple lady who it's like clearly you just want a man, but it's like what do you have to offer? But then the irony is that the script is not. The script is betraying this character. We really don't know what this lady's about.
The script is betraying them all.
Okay, getting back to the lead character, Kelly Rowland. So she's this television producer who wants to be the showrunner. She thought the position was in the bag, but her boss tells her, oh, Method Man's showing up to do an internship/interview.
But and not once does she rage against the machine and be like, why would you do this to me?
What is the reason?
Right.
We never hear what the reason is until I'll save the ending, but her boss does sort of say like, sorry you had to go through all this.
Like, and yet that we had to prove you're a team player. It's like, bitch,
and it's like, why did she have to go through this? Yeah, she proved herself. Why did you doubt her? Anyway, we find out that Kelly Rowland and Method Man used to be in a relationship.
And guess what, everybody? He cheated.
But it's so undefined. I don't know, because they make it sound like this character of Leah should be in her 20s. Mm-hmm. And so this was like a fairly recent, like maybe a college relationship. But because these actors... Also, did you get the sense that they were supposed to be contemporaries?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But Method Man is 10 years older than Kelly Rowland.
He looks really good,
and he looks fantastic, but he also looks 10 years older than her. So it's confusing. Like, clearly he's more mature than her.
I mean, if they would have been fleshed out based on the casting as well, I think there could have been a weird angle that he was like maybe her mentor too and took advantage of her.
Well, that would be interesting and adult. And then when you are dealing with these faith-based relationship where they don't even want to talk about sex, where it's like, well, then you can't actually do interesting things.
But it's like the whole rhetoric of like that they say over and over again, God has a plan. Okay, then you should be happy with your lonely single ass because that's the plan laid out for you.
So the bulk of the movie for Kelly Rowland's character is her crying about her dead mama and not understanding that people die.
No matter how much you love them.
No matter how much you love them, people will die.
Mama, why?
Then her boss, Matt Walsh, says, well, basically you have to compete for the job. So you both are going to work on this feature for the morning show about the pastor and his book. Okay, I want to say this again. I can't believe that there is so much energy put into this little, it can't have been more than like a 2-minute piece.
But if they keep going back to that segment of that interview, were there 3 interviews? Why are they rewatching that interview?
A-list actors don't get that much time on a morning show interview. And they're acting like,
oh my God,
they're going to win like the Peabody Award for this like journalistic piece.
This man uses this analogy about chicken nuggets that my jaw was on the floor.
He basically compares
like we are all nuggets placed in a big bucket, and
people who date a lot. The analogy is that you're like a nugget, and what if everyone touches that nugget, you're not going to want to eat it.
I'm dropping my drawers, and I'm a touched up nugget.
Of course, I don't agree with that. I think the point of dating is to meet people, enjoy people, learn about yourself, learn about them, maybe find a connection.
And maybe not be so desperate about needing something.
I want to go on a little mini rant because, and getting back to what I think I was going to say earlier, taking advice from people whose lives you don't even know if you want.
Exactly.
Do you want this life?
What do you know about this man giving you this advice that you're memorizing? What do you know?
Well, even like when people ask me about relationships, which happens all the time, it's like, you need to be more specific. I don't know you. I don't know what you want. Why does what I'm doing, how does that mean anything to you? What if you don't want what I have? How do you even know what I have? What is your question specifically? Oh, you're just talking. To take advice because someone wrote a book or because they're a pastor, then we get the film. Again, I'm all over the place. I hated the way it looked.
Well, it's this throwaway streaming film.
We get a lot of moments with people because this pastor runs a mega church, so it looks like they're at a concert, but it's really supposed to be worship. But all the people just look so like there's no energy to the crowd. The pastor is not a good actor.
No,
so everything he's saying feels so.
Lee Daniels' sister was the casting director. It's too bad that she didn't have a bigger say and be like, "Can we cast somebody to play you?"
So those are the 3 main storylines.
Yes.
With varying arcs. Probably the best way to proceed is to go through my notes so we can be done with this shit.
Yes.
We find out that Kelly Rowland has a list of all her requirements for her future man.
A list that is pages long printed and then she keeps at her desk at work.
And also keeps it readily available on her phone. She can pull up at any moment. And it is long. It is very long. There must have been 100 bullet points. Minimum.
Obnoxious girl. That's obnoxious. Throw her away. When I see shit like that, I'm like, throw her away. You're done.
Every person I know who's ever had a list, because I've known people who have a list, they are the most unlucky in love. You know why? Because you have to be open. And also, who the are you
Well,
to
see,
expect? Like, people expect more from others than they give themselves.
this is
And
what's
maybe that's why you struggle.
this is what is dangerous about propaganda. You believe these lies about what you should expect, and it's not realistic about what human behavior is like and how difficult it is to communicate and unpack the weird effing baggage that you yourself have inside you.
I had a coworker who you knew, but he had a list, and like the top 5 things on the list were things he did not embody.
He's still alive, and I know who that is. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Income, education level, home ownership. Like, how'd you go to expect?
Like, can you match that? No.
What do you have to offer?
What do you have to offer? And also, if you don't have the face card and you're trying to pull up with that list, no.
Well, this is why it's important to take a step back, do some personal inventory, and really think about, is what I'm offering something people want?
Well, also, like, Kelly Rowland is not a shrew, as that list would indicate. She's a beautiful woman who I am certain is fielding attention from a lot of different avenues.
In addition to me wondering how old these characters should be, I also kept thinking, how much money do they make? Kelly Rowland's fashion is comical.
She has Joan Crawford shoulders in this.
There's one outfit where she is dressed exactly like Madonna in the Express Yourself video.
That's what I said.
Where she has the little monocle.
Yeah, she does. I'm like, okay.
Then she has another like power suit a la Joan Crawford. She looks beautiful, but it's just like, it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, well, I mean, to crib from Madonna's Express Yourself, I mean, we definitely got something to say about it.
Again, can someone explain to me why Method Man has an office and like job duties when he's just supposed to be interviewing? The cinematography doesn't do anyone any favors. I feel like they all look really harsh.
Federico Cantini is a cinematographer. Notably, he lends Eva Longoria's directorial, was it her debut, Flamin' Hot, which also stars Ms. Gonzalez.
Again, the soundtrack is the only thing that had me smiling. There are some... Amazon spent some money on this licensing for these songs.
They did. As the plot goes along, though, I started singing Salt and Pepper, and guess what? What a man.
Featuring En Vogue.
Well, yes, but I mean, I guess I wasn't surprised that was so predictably used. Anyway.
So Method Man and Kelly Rowland are forced to work together on this feature of the year. And they travel somewhere, and then there's an incident or a situation with them flying back home, so they have to drive somewhere. So now they have to drive together in a car, and they're acting like they can't be around each other, even though we really don't ever have an adult conversation as to really what transpired between them, why things didn't work out, what has changed, because this is not a spoiler. Obviously, these two are going to reconnect in the end. There's never really any examination of how are we different today than the people we were back when we were going through all this bullshit. Again, a lot of these faith-based movies, the answer is always God. And that can't be the answer. That's like people with diabetes who don't change their eating habits and they go, well, God got it. Like, no, you need to take care of yourself. You need to talk about these issues.
Yes.
With Brenda, Robin Thede's character, she leaves the man, right? She gives him an ultimatum. And then 3 scenes later, he pops up and says, I read the book, Relationship Goals, now available on Audible. This is an Amazon original, and they do mention ordering something on Amazon, and they do mention Audible. But he says, I read the book, and I'm ready to be with you, with God in our lives. Again, I'm not anti-religion, but you got some splaining to do. You're this athlete who didn't want to settle down. You've surely been with many women, and you read a book.
And now you're like,
that if the book read the way that pastor was talking, is like
the way he's talking is like, I missed
See Jane run.
He's like, the way he's talking, like, I missed you. It's like, yeah, you probably missed her preparing your food and getting your clothes ready. That's the way that seemed. That's how much he's learned in this amount of time she's been gone.
But getting back to Method Man and Kelly Rowland having to drive while they're in the car, Kelly Rowland's very antagonistic towards him. She's mad because of whatever he did that she didn't like and the reason why they broke up. When all of a sudden he gets a text message which goes through, I guess, Apple CarPlay. So of course it's like, do you want to hear the message? And she taps it, and it's some lady who saved in his phone as something mildly suggestive, like Big Booty Brenda or something like that. And then her message is like, oh, Big Daddy, can't wait to whatever.
Ooh.
And Kelly Rowland's mad.
I don't know why she would be.
We're adults. This man is, this is a middle-aged man who's clearly out here doing stuff.
Who has kept his body snatched. You think he's not using it?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, if this is how you're behaving while you're in your mid-40s, ma'am, you're going to have a hard time. Like you can't communicate. I don't know. That really bothered me. Okay. The one funny moment is they stop at a restaurant and Method Man orders the fish. And he asks the server, this older white lady, if the trout was farm raised. And then this lady starts talking about like the trout's family.
Named Dennis or something. Well, Dennis was born upstream. And
the writing's terrible. There are some cutish moments. And I think it's really just the actor trying to do something with the material.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate. Because I'm sure this thinks it's a rom-com.
I don't know.
We get a montage of Treese after you already mentioned she got ghosted on a date.
Man, I would.
Where she now realizes that she needs to date intentionally.
And not spread like mustard.
And that is often something I say, like people date a lot. And it's like, well, what you're calling dating is you just hooking up with 3 new people a week.
I think what people need to learn is not it goes beyond being intentional, goes beyond dating.
Right.
All of your interactions, be an intentional human.
Right. You have to be intentional in all avenues of your life, because if your shit is not together in every other avenue, but you want a man, it's like, well, baby, don't nobody want to deal with your raggedy ass when your job situation's a wreck, your finances, your housing. All you do is
scroll Insta all day.
You have a bad relationship with your family. Like, you need to get things in order. So yes, I agree that intention is important, but you need to kind of get yourself together.
You better get it together if you want to keep it together.
But then it's like, well, ladies, you just can't be slutty. That's what this feels like.
Yep, it feels like the onus is on the ladies.
Because Treese, we get this montage of her trying to date intentionally, and what that means is 90 days no sex. And of course, all of the men say they're not interested, except the final one, who says, "Oh, I would love that because I'm polyamorous, so you can get to know us," which was so corny because it's like, I mean, I know a lot of poly people and they don't always meet new people with their other, but it was just all very like, this feels very dated to me, like think like a man type stuff.
Yes.
And they try to make it more modern by having a homosexual and mentioning polyamory. But if you take those two things out and you take out Amazon and Audible, this could be something from the late 90s very easily.
Yes, it's very limited and limiting.
The craziest scene in this movie is after Brenda, Robin Thede's character, leaves her boyfriend. She's all sad. And then, of course, the younger one, Treese, is like, girl, we need to go out clubbing and find you a man. So they go out and they go to, you know what it reminded me of? So they go to a dance club, and it reminded me of that time.
Holly Hunter movie? Dancing the Brownstone?
No, but that's also a good reference. No, it looked like that time we went to that gay bar in Nebraska. That was super modern, it's super like nice, super big, and it was completely empty.
Yes, because it's too big for the population that's there.
And we went for a Janet Jackson concert. So immediately after the concert, we went to this venue thinking like, oh, it's going to be popping.
No.
But, there weren't a lot of gays at the Janet Jackson, Nebraska concert. It was like the people who lived there. So anyway, the most odd scene of this film is Leah, Treese, and Brenda go to this very nice modern club that is completely empty. And we have them doing a dance break to Sierra's Goodies, not unlike the one in White Chicks, that I thought was so awkward.
Hey, it's sisters doing it for themselves, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what the point of that scene was in this dead club.
Because once they're done, Brenda is basically like, oh, I got it out of my system. So then they leave. So I feel like the messaging was, oh, like a respectable woman doesn't go out.
She goes out at 5 p.m. before there's a crowd. She does her appropriate dance and then goes home at a reasonable time to get 8 hours of beauty sleep.
Method Man and Kelly Rowland end up going out on a date. apparently drinking too much and having sex. And I feel like that whole drinking too much was like, there had to be an excuse why they had sex.
Which is,
it couldn't just be that they're two elderly people who are single. Well, come on. Method Man is older than I am. And I'm not that much older than Kelly Rowland. So we are all too damn old to be acting like
I had too many Cosmos.
That's another thing for Method Man's character, is that it's supposed to be like
daring, that he's like cosmopolitan. Who is looking at what this man is ordering and being like, oh, that's a problem.
I do have a bottle of Sky Cosmo in the refrigerator,
but like,
and it's quite tasty.
Who cares? This man is dressed. He looks great. Who's looking at his drink and being like, oh, yay, or whatever, femi? That it's so homophobic in a way that was driving me crazy. But Kelly Rowland is especially bad in that scene because she's got that heaving damsel in distress thing going on. Like, she is hot to trot, staring into Method Man's eyes, hanging on every word that he says, like, I can't wait to get it on with you. And that is before they finish their first drink.
When he's trying to explain to her that he's loved her, this review hasn't come out, but people can anticipate that for the Wuthering Heights review, when I'm talking about the love story between
Kathy and
Heathcliff, I start crying when I'm describing how Heathcliff loved her for so long. But in this movie, Method Man's character is also basically saying he's loved her for so long. And I feel nothing between these two people. But when he's trying to explain to her that he's loved her for so long, he says, you got under my skin like a splinter and you're tenacious like a cockroach.
No.
These are not romantic words, sir. This is not...
Oh, so I caused you discomfort and agony and it was repellent? Oh.
So when Aiden pops back up, Brenda's athlete ex-boyfriend, and tells her that he's ready to be polyamorous with God in their relationship.
Yes. See, that's what this is about. God's poly.
He invites her to a party. She goes, and it's literally the next scene. So he tells her, I want to be back with you with God in our life.
She looks great in that scene, by the way, but she's not even sure she's going to go to this retirement party for him. And she arrives with her two little friends, and he snatches her up at the door.
And immediately proposes.
And she goes, you're perfect.
This is, again, another example of, we have explaining to do. This is a very adult thing that's happening. This person had real issues, real concerns, and the answer is just, well, God got it.
You know what?
Good luck with that, y'all.
But based on the time constraints of these scenes, you know what she needed to be like? Like Melanie Griffith in that scene in Working Girl, where Alec Baldwin thinks he's going to pressure her in public by proposing into stating that she'll marry him. And when Alec gets down on his knees, Melanie Griffith says no. Do you remember that scene? And afterwards, he's pissed, and she's like, I'm not a piece of meat. You can't order me. Although in that Melanie Griffith voice.
Coffee, tea, me.
Well, that's Joan Cusack.
I know, but that's the same.
I'm not a piece of meat. You can't order me.
Those are the two lines I remember, that one and the coffee one.
Tick tock, my biological clock. Anyway, that's what that should have been like. Like, no, you have more proving to do.
So Brenda's going to marry, whatever his name is, Aiden Fletcher. Kelly, Avon. We find out, gets the job, but that's only because Method Man gets out of the running. He realizes that he loves her and that he shouldn't have been competing against her. I don't like that messaging either. Kelly Rowland deserved that job.
And then it makes it look like...
And then her boss makes it seem like, well, thanks to Method Man dropping out for consideration, you got it, girl. Like,
I know when they put the name plaque on her door, I thought they might as well just etched next to showrunner in parentheses by default.
Yeah. So then what's up with Treese at the end? This heifer gets a dog.
Named Boyfriend.
And I guess that's to help. I mean, it's like it really is her emotional support animal. So she doesn't, spread like mustard again? I don't understand.
I want the scary movie version of Treese where maybe she learns about body pillows and she can glue a dildo on it.
Ugh. We get Kelly Rowland at her mom's burial site, crying like the lady died yesterday.
I know. And then Dennis Haysbert shows up.
And the way Dennis Haysbert is kind of like how I feel about her character. He's just like, damn, bitch, my baby's stupid. Like, he's just like talking to her like, it's going to be all right.
Why didn't they go together?
It's going to be all right. And why didn't they go together? They both show up at the gravesite as if.
At around the same time.
It's like, was it the mom's birthday or
the
like
anniversary of her death?
Her happy death day? Like, why?
But apparently,
why did y'all not go together?
That is the moment where Leah, Kelly Rowland's character, realizes that she's in love with Jarrett.
Right. Okay. So the weirdest scene is the Sierra's Goodies dance break. I think the scene that made me the most angry is now that Kelly Rowland is the showrunner, she's at work.
And she tells her two girlfriends, like, hey, y'all.
She literally like walks out of the office after she's watching reruns of the feature she and Method Man worked on. And now she realizes that she does love him. So she runs out of her office to tell her two best friends, who luckily seem to always be in the same room together.
Yes.
And she goes, I love him. And they go, well, we know that. Stevie Wonder can see that you love him.
She goes, well, what should I do? Huh?
And that's when her gay assistant comes in and goes, oh, well.
He's moving to LA. He's on a flight in 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah. Then Ronald starts going on about how all the assistants have a secret society where they gossip. So that's how he knows Method Man's going to LA for this new job he got. In fact, he's flying to LAX. His flight leaves at 3:45. So they're like, well, you know what you have to do? You have to run to the airport. You have to run to JFK. And she's like, I literally cannot run to JFK. We cut to her running in the airport. That looked terrible. She gets to the security line. And what does this lady do? Finds airport security, points at Method Man and says, I saw that man putting something super sus in his bag. We see airport security drag him away. And then he very casually walks out of security. Like, you did this, didn't you?
And security doesn't come get her ass to be like, man, making false claims is not funny. But if that had been done to me, dead. You're dead to me. Why would you do something so asinine, so adolescent? Idiot.
That scene was so annoying. Like, really? She couldn't just yell his name?
She goes, I had to stop you. Bitch, use your words.
He was close enough that she could have just said at a moderate level.
She could have said, I love you.
Right.
Like in Whitefire.
But you accuse him of strange behavior in an airport and a black man? Why would you do that?
Yes, lady.
That sent me. I'm like, I can't. Baby,
no. And then they make out and he's like, I still got to get my flight because I got to go to LA and tell her I'm not going to accept this job. I'm like, what?
Oh,
in this economy? No. Mm-mm.
We need to say that again. He tells her, well, let me go fly to LA from JFK so I can turn down this job
and quit my job and come right back. And
what?
No.
That makes about as much sense as working in an office that you haven't been hired in yet. To do free work?
You didn't sign anything? I don't know.
I hated this movie.
It's out of touch in every way.
I hated this movie. What would you give relationship goals?
This boring ass title that doesn't tell us what it promises to. Anyway, a 1. I know I've spoken about this film with such derision. I have seen worse, but this is a waste of time. It is a 1.
I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 only because the soundtrack gave it an extra 0.5. I've seen worse as far as production, even writing. The acting in this is pretty bad.
But it's almost like you can't blame them though, because in the poor director, I don't know, they were set up to fail.
Well, all of the actors aren't on the same level, so some are struggling more than others with this terrible dialogue. But what makes me so upset about this story is these adult storylines and themes that get watered down. I don't know, if I were a religious person, like if I were the core audience of this pastor's work, I'd be offended. Like, I am an adult. I have needs, I have feelings, I do adult things, and I need to reconcile that with my God. Okay,
that's what propaganda exactly sets out to do, though, is hammer us down into this one unthinking box.
Anyway, okay, so this week, well, you're leaving for Berlin tomorrow.
Yes, I am.
Which is actually today when I publish the podcast.
Yes.
So next week will be a little light, but
we have some things. We're cooking up some things.
We have a Wuthering Heights review coming. We have a review for The Mortuary Assistant.
Yes, there should be a Halle Berry review potentially.
We might go see the Halle Berry movie separately and review that via Zoom. So there will be things. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people?
Power to the people. Resist, resist, resist.
Ta-ta.